First of all, to both of you, the question: how was the session so far? What are the differences that you're seeing from this year as compared to the previous years?
I think it's fantastic, right? I think it's, again, there is such a seminal change that has happened in technology because of AI. And clearly, the discussions here reflect the opportunity and the promise of AI. As to the previous year, it's very hard for me to say because this is really my first time in Nasscom. The first time I've actually been here, but it's great to see such a wonderful turnout, see so many old friends, and just a fascinating set of discussions.
Truly, I think the time has come when we are moving away from the promise to actually performance on AI. And for the last year to this year, I think it looks like it's been 5 years since we discussed the same topic because the amount of change which has happened in real adoption of some of those use cases, mind-blowing.
Question from my end. Although you did address it on stage that, I mean, the first half of 2024, we've seen globally so many layoffs happening. Would you say that trend will also sort of trickle down into India, and AI could be one of the contributors for these kind of layoffs? 25,000 plus jobs have been cut across globally. What's your sense? You also mentioned that it's sort of overplayed.
My own sense is, look, I think obviously, individual layoffs have to do with how individual companies are performing with their view on what the economy will be. But I do feel that globally, compared to 6 to 8 months ago, it does feel that there is a slight bit of more optimism on the ground. I don't feel that any of these job losses are directly linked to AI, and I certainly, it's impossible to predict what the future economic outlook will be, right, for the economy.
So, just one more question to you guys. We have had so many conversations here. It's not. My conversations are focused only on the industry. What we have, we're just talking about what happened here in Nasscom. So you have had a lot of conversations here. So you spoke about job loss or job creation. We also talked about job loss at the session that you hosted right now. So tell us something where coders or even software engineers can look forward into jobs in the AI space.
Look, like I had said in the session, right, I do feel that this is a wonderful toolkit, and it allows people to really expand their capabilities very dramatically, right? Whether it's in terms of design or the actual coding or testing, it's a remarkable set of toolkits that allows you to perform at a much higher level than earlier. So I do feel it is an overall huge positive, right? Given the workforce that we have, given the young workforce that we have, I feel that the opportunities truly are limitless because technology or AI is really expanding the size of the pie. I think we have to be focused on just the massive expansion that the global economy is likely to see because of the promise of technology.
In the consulting space, if you can tell us.
I can talk about consulting space. We're always positive, but I think even in the technology space, superlatively positive. The reason being that India is a cusp of not just consuming, but also building. Right now, it's going to be the future of both consuming, but even more for the builder economy. And I think clearly the tech industry in India is here to gain more than to lose at all.
So one final question to both of you. We're talking a lot about skilling and reskilling of our current workforce. Microsoft recently announced their skilling program. These announcements have been made, but what exactly will the turnout of events be post skilling in AI? What are the various avenues that is open up for the skilled workers going forward? Look, I do think that
we are obviously living in a very different paradigm from 30 years ago, where you got one degree and then you rested on your laurels for the next 30 years. The need to reinvent ourselves constantly has never been more true. But also, I think AI gives you these opportunities, right? Like, for instance, in TechM, we are creating this platform where people can specify what their desired career will be 5 years from now. And then the sort of program will suggest the training interventions that are needed. It will suggest the sort of projects that will be available within the system that people can take. So you can really use AI to craft a long-term career path for yourself, right? And increasingly companies like ours are making a lot of opportunities available for people to to learn and to mature their skills.
And how much of an uptick can we see in terms of AI creating more jobs? We're talking about layoffs, but how much of incremental job creation will happen through AI is what your sense is?
First of all, I would say that we are not talking about any job loss because of AI. I want to be very clear. At least that's not what I'm hearing. The second one, coming back to your learning thing, I do want to say that there's not going to be learn now and post that. No, it's going to be a continuum, as Mohit talked about. So the learning has to be more continuous, and therefore the opportunities are also going to be more evolving. So in the short term, the opportunities are going to be people who can build use cases on top of the existing model. But for a country like India, we also need to build some foundation models. So you heard IIT working on the Bharat GPT model. That's a completely new, because if you see today's large language models, they are not having enough data sets for the vernacular languages. As we know that we have nearly 1 billion people in India who needs to use AI tools. They can't use the AI tools using English. So there's going to be humongous possibility of building foundation tools. And then the third one is that what we have not yet seen is that how AI and the existing technology really integrates. That's what is actually the power of the IT industry. We are not the people who are just building stuff and throwing them away. We are actually taking the power. The companies which have built billions of dollars of systems, they are not going to throw away just because there's a new tech. So there's going to be an integration opportunity for the new tech with the old tech, which is going to be a massive opportunity for the technology industry.
Just one final question.
Yeah. Job creation in AI, especially for tech.
Look, I feel that, as Akhilesh mentioned, technology is now a golden thread that is running across entire industries, right? And the importance of technology, the spend on technology for every single company, every single industry is going to continue to increase. So I do feel that there will be huge opportunities, right, for companies like us that understand business but also understand technology deeply.
How does AI change the landscape? Just last question. So we are a service-focused, our technology exports are mostly service-focused. Do you see the innovation also coming in at this point of time? Building here rather than just servicing global clients?
This is a false sort of dichotomy, right? I think the innovation has always been here. And I think Akhilesh spoke about the large language models, for instance, right? We've just built a model in TechM called Indus, which is based on Hindi and 37 dialects. We are now building a model based on Bahasa Indonesian. So clearly a lot of pioneering work in terms of research and development, in terms of fundamental research, is happening as well in India.
Absolutely, 100% agree with Mohit. Again, I would say that on the incremental stuff, my story is that if you ask my great-grandfather what I'll be doing, he won't be able to describe it. So what my great-grandchildren will be doing, I won't be able to describe. So the world will unfold as we see it, and I'll always be wrong in predicting, and I'll be wrong by a big margin on how positive it will be. However positive I think, it'll be better than that.